find the best TV shows to watch. We've compiled a list of great TV shows available on Hulu right now that will keep you entertained for hours on end. And also Hulu has a diverse range of genres and titles, and therefore, we will release more videos covering Hulu's incredible lineup of TV shows. Number 10, Light as a Feather. Light as a Feather is about a group of 4 best friends who invite a brand new girl at their school named Violet to join them at their annual girls' night. One of their traditions is to do something a little bit spooky together, but Violet suggests that they play a creepy version of Light as a feather stiff as a board. Violet tells a really detailed story about how each of them will die when one of the girls ends up dying in the exact way that Violin predicted. Now the other girls are coming together to figure out what is going on before one of them may be next. Light as a Feather is based on the book of the same name by Zoe Arson. Overall, Light as a Feather. It's a really fun, spooky TV show to watch, especially around Halloween. It is definitely exciting, and it's easy to get through. The series' 2nd season premiered in 2019. Number 9, Quantico. Bollywood superstar and former Miss World Priyanka Chopra stars as Alex Parrish, who joins the FBI Academy months after she and her other batchmates all become suspects in this terrorist attack on Grand Central Terminal. Quantico initially had 2 timelines: the present, when Parrish flees from captivity to prove her innocence, and the past, with her and her fellow recruits training at the academy. Each episode weaves together intricate storylines, blending action, romance, and suspense. Quantico is one of those shows that all of us have seen before, not literally, but as far as storyline. But here's the thing, Priyanka Chopra is more than just a pretty face. She has talent. She manages to bring so many aspects to her character. The show has been praised for its diverse cast. Number 8, Cruel Summer. Cruel Summer is an anthology series, meaning each season follows a new cast of characters. The first season of Cruel Summer is a tense, twisty, and funny show. The show takes place over approximately similar dates, during 3 summers spanning from 1993 to 1995. The story revolves around the mysterious disappearance of an extremely popular teenager named Kate Wallace, but the main conflict centers around Jeanette Turner, a nerdy girl who gradually becomes far more confident and traditionally attractive before eventually becoming widely hated. The 2nd season follows the 2 teenage girls in the early 2000s. The series' 2nd season premiered in 2023. Number 7, Blind Spot. It's about a woman called Jane Doe who wakes up in the middle of Times Square in a traveling bag. She's completely covered in tattoos, and she also lost her memories, so she doesn't know who she is, because the name Jane Doe is basically one that FBI make up for her. And then turns out that biggest tattoo on her body has the name of an FBI agent called Kurt Weller, who's kind of the main protagonist of the series. And upon the FBI doing more investigation of her tattoos, it turns out that they're actually related to crimes that are going to be happening very soon in New York. And while they try and stop these crimes, they also have to try and decipher who put these tattoos on Jane, before obviously she went into that bag. It has a compelling premise with many twists and turns that keep you hooked. The mystery and action were good enough to hook you from the very first episode. Blind Spot premiered in September 2015, 5th and final season aired on 2020. Number 6, Marvel's Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is about 2 teenagers, Tyrone Johnson and Tandy Bowen. The show subverts the usual tropes when it comes to race. Tyrone is upper middle class and going to a private school, while Tandy is homeless and her mom is an alcoholic. These 2, while coming from completely different blocks of life, are connected by a huge company conspiracy that has affected both of them in similar ways. The main characters and their powers develop a lot throughout just 10 episodes, and their chemistry on screen together is great, which is obviously important since these characters are connected. If you're going into this expecting Daredevil or Punisher-like fight scenes, you're going to be disappointed. This show is more of a romantic drama superhero show. It's a nice change from the superhero shows that we do have. However, the series was canceled after 2 seasons. Number 5, Vita. Vita Season 1 is a drama series focusing on 2 Mexican-American sisters from the east side of Los Angeles. Circumstances force them to return to the old neighborhood, where they are confronted by the past and surprising truth above their mother's identity. At the same time, it has to deal with some other stuff in regards to things that they own, and also kind of going back to their old lives that they were trying so hard to get away from. The series has some pretty moving moments too. It has elements of comedy, it has drama, and it even has a little bit of mystery to it, and somehow it American blends them all together really well. And on top of that, it's well shot and has interesting upbeat music. Third season of Vita premiered on April 2020. Vita received critical acclaim. Each season holds a 100% score on review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes. The show received a 2019 GLAAD Media Award for Outstanding Comedy Series. Number 4, The Gifted. The Gifted is based on the X-Men, except in an alternate X-Men timeline where the X-Men have disappeared, but mutants still exist, and the government is still trying to track them down and imprison them. The story is set in motion when a man who's a district attorney who has prosecuted mutants in the past discovers that both of his children are mutants, and he finds himself on the run from the Sentinel program and having to team up with the people that in the past he has prosecuted. Special effects look fine for television. It tackles the tragedies of being a mutant. We get to see lots of different mutants using their powers, and it leaves you with adrenaline in your system wanting to know what happens next. The Gifted just wants to be an entertaining show in the world of the X-Men, and that it manages to do that without the X-Men. Unfortunately, in 2019, Fox canceled the series after 2 seasons. Number 3, Siren. Siren takes place in a fictional town up in Washington called Bristol Cove, and it town calls itself the mermaid capital of the world. This town is rich with lore about mermaids, and legends and myths and stories passed down through the generations. Ben Pownell is one of the main characters. He's a descendant of the family that founded this town, and he works at the Bristol Cove Marine Biology Research Center with his girlfriend Maddie, and they're living their lives and they're good. But then one fateful day, a girl shows up out of nowhere. She seems confused. She doesn't seem to be from around here, and turns out she's a mermaid who goes by the name Rin. She eventually makes her way to Ben and Maddie. They take her in, and turns out the government captured another mermaid, who turns out to be Rin's sister. This is actually the reason that Rin came to find her, and then the story goes from there. One of the biggest things that makes this show so great are the Rin moments. You know, those small moments where Rin is discovering things about our world. Those moments really help you become attached emotionally to Rin. However, the series was canceled in August 2020 after 3 seasons. Number 2, Killing Eve. It's about a brilliant and bored MI5 security officer named Eve, who begins investigating a highly prolific assassin that had left a trail of murders across several countries. Eve believes the assassin to be a woman, so the head of MI6 recruits Eve for an off-the-books mission to track down the mysterious killer. Eve becomes obsessed with catching the assassin, which puts a strain on her relationship with her husband, and as they go head-to-head, they end up obsessed with each other. Jodie Comer and Sandra give breakout performance here. If you're looking for an entertaining and pleasant show to binge, then give this a try. The first season premiered in 2018, and the 4th and final season premiered in 2022. And if you are interested in female assassin movies, you can check out the top 10 female-led action movies on the Insane List channel, linked in the description below. Number 1, The Terror. Set in the 1840s at the height of British power, the 10-episode series charts the doomed expedition to find the Northwest Passage, led by Captain Sir John Franklin and Captain Francis Crozier. The 2 ships searched for a route from the Arctic Ocean through to the Pacific, an ideal trade route for the Empire. Things don't go according to plan as the ships become stranded in the ice, but that's only the beginning. Something else is lurking in the wastes, brutally killing off the crew one by one. The Terror is an unrelentingly bleak story about individuals pushed to their limits against the elements. At first, the series sucks you into the frosty environment, emphasizing how difficult it was for the ships to overcome the frigid labyrinth. The seemingly endless wasteland is beautifully crafted for a combination of sets and video effects. If you guys have not seen The Terror, you should really need to watch this. This is one of the best examples I can give to you of slow-building horror thriller television shows. Well, this is it. What's your favorite show on Hulu? Let us know in the comments.